I began wrestling at the start of this year. It was like shortly after our freshman orientation. My mom actually emailed Coach and was like, this is my daughter. She has really bad anxiety, and he just told me to show up anyways, and I did.
I actually started wrestling in 7th grade. It was during like open house, and we were going through all the different clubs and stuff, and we came across wrestling where this very excited girl, Lily, was like, hey, do you want to join wrestling? And I was like, of course, I was like, not really, because I just didn't think it would be like for me. But my dad told me I had to join a sport. And so out of all the other sports there, I chose wrestling.
I started wrestling my 7th grade year. I was a gymnast before I blew my elbow out, and that ended my career. And so I decided to wrestle because my dad coached for years before, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot.
I started my sophomore year because of her. I had been going through a hard time, and I needed an outlet, and she hit me up and was like, hey, you should come to one of the practices. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll watch, but I'm not gonna join. And that was my mindset. I was like, I'm not joining. And then I went home and I was like, that seems really fun. You know, you get to beat people up for fun, you know?
When I entered high school, I didn't want to do any sports. I didn't want to do anything extra. I just wanted to get through school and be done. And I was literally just walking through school. Some of the girls were in the school building still, and they were talking about the wrestling team. And I was just like, okay, sure, try it. Impulse. So I went to practice literally that day, and I tried it out. And at first, I didn't really know what to think of it, but I just kept coming because I was like, it's something to do. I'm doing something with my life, you know. And then I just kept coming, kept happening.
As long as I can remember, I've had anxiety, but it's not been as severe as it was as I got older. Like, I remember when I was younger, I wouldn't order my own food and I wouldn't talk to people I didn't know, but then it got worse as I got older.
I don't think, not so much with my friends, but I think it's very stereotypical, but like with my parents or like my coaches, when they're trying to calm me down, I'm like, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of frustrating. Or like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be there and just in my own thoughts. I don't want to like talk about it. It's frustrating.
I don't really like showing it. I hate showing that I'm an anxious person. So a lot of times when I'm walking in the hallway, it's just like not a single emotion. I don't really like getting in touch with my emotions that much. So anxiety kind of goes to the bottom of the barrel a lot of times. I have it. It's like this ball in like a jar, and I just got bigger. Like the jar keep getting bigger, and I would just smash it down to the bottom of the jar. And then, you know, but it's like one of those things that just keeps growing with the jar, and then sometimes they get a little bit too big.
I wouldn't describe anxiety as just a turmoil of emotions, but also it's like you can only see one thing right in front of you, and that's that fear, that terror. I shut down, and I get hot and cold and sweaty, and I'm just like, why is this happening to me? Oh my gosh, this is scary. My heart's beating out my chest. My throat feels like it's closing, and I can't get enough air. And of course, when that happens, I get even more anxious and upset. And it's just, you can't stop it when it starts to happen. It's just, you gotta let it run its course. So it's scary.
For me, anxiety has been like, it's like I'll go from being this happy, energetic person, like, hey, how was your day? And then something just dawns on me like, oh, like I can't even tell you what has happened. It's just like this switch, like I'm automatically like this monotone, like straight face, like I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to help it. It's like this inner war that I don't know how to express outwardly, other than breaking down. And it's like something terrible just happened to you and you don't know what to do.
You don't know how to express it.
Yeah.
There's no words to express it. It's just, like she said, like a flip of a switch. You can be happy in one moment and then terrified the next moment. So it's unpredictable. Yeah, and frustrating, yeah.
I actually have anxiety attacks, like kind of a lot, but I don't let anyone show them. Like I usually have them in my car when I'm like by myself. So after school, like when I would go drive home, sometimes I wouldn't make it home. I just pull over to like an empty parking lot or something, and I'd have my anxiety attack there in the middle of my car. Or if I had it during school, I just step out of the classroom. And because I hated experiencing that in front of people, I felt like shame, guilt. I felt imperfect. I told Lily a while ago that I felt like a stain on a shirt, like something imperfect on this nice shirt. You know, I didn't like it at all. I felt like it stuck out like a sore thumb. So if no one saw it, then it didn't exist.
I always feel like my anxiety would tell me you're not good enough, or oh my gosh, you're not smart enough for this, or you did horrible on that test, or like, oh, those people are looking at you. They can see that little tiny hole in your shirt. And I was just like, it's just mean. I've always called it ever since I was little. My dad actually kind of introduced me to it, but we called it the monster. And if I didn't go, only that monster would get bigger each time. And until I conquered it and I went in there and I faced my fears, it would only grow. So it's just, I think anxiety tells you a lot that you can do something, even though you can.
We had lunch together in 8th grade, and we worked in the library, and I was so scared to just sit out there and eat. So we both would get a salad, but I was too scared to stop in the line because I'm like, people are gonna get mad. They're gonna get mad that I'm stopping in the line to put on dressing on my salad. And I was just so scared of that I ate salad, just plain. And I don't know, it's just like these dumb thoughts, like people are judging me for no reason.
I feel like I'm a worrier. Like I will worry about stuff all day long. I'm also like Brooklyn. I do not like talking to people, and I don't like confrontation. I don't, it stresses me out. I don't know why, but it's me worrying about stuff that's fine usually, or talking to people because I'm worried about what they're gonna think.
It's something that's always gonna be with you. So it's just something you have to learn to adapt. It's another human feeling. It's like happiness. You might feel it one day, you might not feel it another day. It's just something you have to learn to cope with. And I think having wrestling and having someone to fall back on, something to have, it gave me a coping mechanism. It's not necessarily, I'd give you like encouragement to fight your anxiety because you can't really fight it, but you can definitely work it towards something better.
I think the aspect of a team is really important because it's like you have this family that's not your real family, but it's someone you can go to and like, oh, I can't get this move, you want to help me? Or it's like you talk about anything other than wrestling as well.
I've never truly been on a team that there was like no drama, and like on this team there isn't any. We're there to pick each other up, and I found sisters through it. So just the whole aspect of a team is just so important because not only do I face like anxiety or nervousness, they all do too. And so it's kind of, I get to relate to somebody and not feel so alone.
Even if you just like come up to them and your eyes maybe like watery or something, they're just like, it's no questions asked, just like a hug or some kind of embrace, like it's okay, I got you.
It makes me feel understood, and makes me just be able to trust, because like I just have a hard time trusting people altogether. It's just who I am, because I always worry, well, do they really like me, or do they really want to be my friend? But with them, I know it's true. And like what Chloe said, like if somebody's getting all teary-eyed, I like to pull them off to the side and just say, hey, you need to talk, you need a break, if you need me, I'm here for you.
It gives me a bit of relief, I guess, that I can talk to someone if I so choose. I still struggle with it a lot because it's just that nagging head, like nagging voice in my head that tells me that they probably don't want to talk to you. You're probably just bothering them and stuff like that. It nags at me, so I still struggle with it a lot. But like it does give me a little bit of ease knowing that I can talk to someone.
I can see like when she starts getting anxious, I'll be like, Chloe, it's okay. It's okay. Or I'm just like, I don't know how I'm feeling. Like, I don't have to explain to them. I don't have to explain to her what I'm feeling, because on some level we all know what we're talking about. And it's just nice because I'm like, okay, I don't have to like try to make sense of this. Like, they already know what I'm talking about. So just, I relate to them.
I think that my anxiety has certainly gotten better since I've been on the team. Usually when I get really anxious at matches, I just have to calm myself down and tell I was at Ross U at a match, and it was like a third place match, and I lost it, and I was really upset because that was the farthest I'd ever gotten in a tournament. And Coach Matthews told me that the most anyone expects of you is your best. And I just think about that before my matches, because I'm like, even if I go out there and I lose, as long as I was doing my best, it's not something I can't be proud of.
You know you're not like alone. Like, it may feel like you're alone, but like you're not alone. Like, in the moment when you're like going through like panic, anxiety, like you'll be with your teammates and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. And then you'll start talking about how nervous you are, and it calms you down. Like, maybe not like to the point where like you're like, oh, like easy breezy, but it definitely helps. It's very calming.
I definitely agree. It's very just kind of helps you understand yourself better, because sometimes you're like, why am I so anxious right now? Like, this is kind of ridiculous. But then you remember everyone else on the team is feeling the same thing. So
the one thing I love most about wrestling is probably like, I don't have to be perfect to win. I have control over my match, and I like control. That's just who I am. So having that control just allows me to find an outlet because life's just so unpredictable.
It's a place to be yourself, and you'll mess up on the mat, but it's not like it's the end of the world.
I think that I like about wrestling is that it allows me to give myself a break, because I don't think about anything when I wrestle. There's not a single thought that goes through my head when I wrestle. So it allows me to like this moment of peace in my head.
I would say to, I guess, my younger self, or anybody else at my age then, that it does get better. It takes work to find some coping mechanisms that work for you, but it's not going to be the end of the world. You're not going to die from a panic attack or an anxiety attack, even though it feels like it. I know I thought I was, but I'm here today. So, and do things that make you uncomfortable, because that's what's going to help push you, and that's what's going to help conquer some of your fears, because being secluded and stuck in your room, it's just going to allow those fears and those thoughts to fester even more. So being around people, whether it's a part of a sports team or a chess team or a chess club or like a gaming club, be around people that find interests that you do.
Definitely, I think that you need to find an outlet. Like, for myself, when I was younger, I didn't have an outlet because I stayed at home all the time, but just find a way that like you can find your own voice, and you can be this picture of yourself that you're like, I just want to be me, instead of what other people have a definition of. And just find something that makes you feel like enough.